All right, so when you start up the GPS tracker program, the first thing it's going to do is show you where you are on the map to this location. Now your map may look different. If you want to change that, click on this icon that shows these multiple layers right here. And I have got the professional version. If you just have the free version, you may not have all these selections, but you can pick between, these are free up here, these top four. So you might get the Apple Street Map, the hybrid map, blank map. I don't know why you want a blank map. But anyways, I have the satellite map chosen. If you want to pick something else, knock yourself out. But you're probably going to want satellite. So now that we got that squared away, first thing we want to do is lay down a track. So there's two different things we're going to do. We're going to lay down a track that's going to show the property line. Then we're going to put waypoints, and our waypoints are actually going to show the different features of the property. Now, this is a hiking tracking program, hence the name Tracks, but I'm just forcing it or making it useful for what I do. It's the only program I've found so far, not that I've gone on a big hunt, but I did a couple of years ago. There might be something out there, but I prefer this over MapRight. All right, so in order to create a new track, we're going to hit this hamburger icon in the bottom right-hand corner of all these icons over here. So tap that. And then we're going to scroll down and select Create Route. All right, so the first thing we'll do is tap on Name, and we'll give it a name. Somewhere Ranch, and we hit Save. Now once we hit Save, which I think is stupid, nothing happens. You don't even know it did anything, but it did save it. So now that we're done typing in the name and pressing Save, we can hit Done. And there you can see Somewhere Ranch. Now we want to create the route. So we're going to tap on Create Route. So we want to, you can see right there it's got the little car icon, and we don't want to do that because that means it'll use the roads when you start laying down tracks, which obviously we're not using roads. So we're going to tap on the little hiking guy, and then the snap to roads up here in the top right, we want to make sure that is off as well. So let's turn that off. Now the minute we told the program that we want to start a track, it puts the first pin, which makes sense, where we are. But since we're doing this ahead of time and we're nowhere near the ranch, we don't want that pin, because the minute we drop another pin, which we do just by tapping anywhere on the screen, I'll just tap, it drops a pin. But as you can see, it draws a line, and we don't want that. So underneath the Done in the upper left-hand corner is this little undo arrow. So we're going to tap that once, twice to get rid of both arrows. Now what we want to do is navigate on the map to the property that we're going to. So I know there's a property, Barefoot Ranch, outside of Athens. I guess you could put an address or wherever, some address or whatever you have that gets you close to the ranch, and then hopefully by looking at the map you can recognize the property. So I'm going to tap in the upper right hand corner this hamburger, which is these three parallel lines, and tap on Search Map. And then I'm going to put in Athens, Texas. Athens, Texas, which will get me in the ballpark. And it puts a pin there. Again, don't want the pin. Undo that. So out here, outside of Athens, is Barefoot Ranch. And this is it right here in this area. And I'm just going to start dropping. We're still in the drop pin mode. So let's get rid of this search bar up here, and I'm just going to hit cancel. Oops. Yeah, I don't need that anymore. I don't know why I did that, but I hit cancel to get rid of it. So I'm going to start up here in the upper left-hand corner. I'm just tapping right here, and that drops a pin. And I'm going to come down here and drop a pin, drop a pin. I'm just tapping the screen on various areas to drop a pin. Now if you make a mistake, you just use this undo arrow up underneath the word Done in the upper left hand corner, and you can undo as many as you want. So I'm just going to keep dropping here, and let's just say I make a mistake, I do that. I'm going to back up or hit undo, I'm sorry, and tap the screen. You can also, while you're doing this, scroll in and, of course, push the screen around and get it. So if you want to really drop a pen in the right place, like you can see I missed that corner, I can hit undo, and then I can tap that corner and get a little more precise. Not that it has to be exact, but, pretty close. So I don't remember the property lines of this place, but I'm just going to start just dropping pins. Now, one tiny caveat to this, to drawing this track, is that even though I go back to this point, the program, for whatever reason, it's a bug, will take out that first track that you drew, which is this track right here, from this green pin to this first purple pin. So drop another pin at the second pin that you dropped when you started, so which is this pin right here. So I'm going to tap here and drop yet another one. And yes, that's a dual line, but trust me, don't worry about it. So now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and press the word done up in the upper left-hand corner. And it will draw, and now that we're done with that, we hit save. Now, another goofy thing that I think it does is once you hit save, it goes off the map and takes you back to where you are. We don't really care. So again, we're going to hit, in the bottom, we hit the icon that says tracks, and there's our Somewhere Ranch, and you can see it's not being shown on the map. So we're going to tap show on map, and then we can tap anywhere on the screen to get rid of this dialog box, and then there's our outline, and you can see over here, that double line is not there. So I don't know what that is. So now that we've got our property line set up, now we want to start adding waypoints. So we're going to tap, again, on the bottom, on the left, you see waypoints. We're going to tap on that. The first thing we want to do, if we just start dropping waypoints, it's going to put it in some random folder, call it something else or whatever. So we want to make sure it's putting this first waypoint in the right folder. So I'm going to tap in this upper right-hand corner, the hamburger, and I'm going to say Add New Folder. We're going to call it Somewhere Ranch. Hit Save. We're going to hit Done. And then I can zoom in here. Now I can just start dropping waypoints. And wherever that target is, you see that target there in the middle, I'll just put wherever I want to drop a waypoint, put it right there. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can hit this waypoint plus sign and add it, whatever, but I find the most accurate and the easiest way is the way I do it, is just put this target over where I want to drop the waypoint and hit this little down arrow, and it's going to drop it there. And then I can hit this plus and tap in the name field, call it Main House, hit Save. If I want to, I can change the color. Let's make it yellow, and then hit Save. So there it is, Main House. We'll go over here. I'll put this here, drop another pin, tap the plus sign. You may not have a plus sign, it depends on your version. If you don't, just hit the little exclamation point, which I think is what it is if you have an older version. Unless you've updated, then you'll have that plus sign. So again, we'll name this, call this Boathouse, hit Save, it's in the water, let's make it blue. You don't have to color code, but it's kind of helpful. And then you just go through this whole property and just keep naming this stuff. Now, what it should be doing, which I kind of dropped the ball on here, is I'm going to tap on this waypoint, Main House. I'm just tapping on it, and it's going to bring up this dialog box, and I'm going to hit the information button here. And I'm looking at this folder, and as you can see, it put it in this GPS Tracks Waypoints. That's not the folder I wanted. And we created a folder, and I thought once we created it and said this is where we want to put it, that's where it would. That's not what it did. So I'm going to tap on Folder and go down here to Somewhere Ranch and put it in there and hit Save. We have to do it to this one too. Now we're not going to have to keep doing this. It's only because I dropped this in here. So let's hit Folder again, scroll down here and go to Somewhere Ranch and hit Save. Now when I drop a pin anywhere, I don't know what this is, these are tennis courts, I'll drop that down, we'll hit the plus sign, hit Name, oops, tennis courts, hit save. And you can see the folder, it's already putting it automatically into Somewhere Ranch. So now we don't have to worry about that anymore. Put this whatever color we want and hit save. And then you just keep on doing that. And if you're going to share this with somebody, you have to share both the track. So if I want to share the track, I would tap on tracks, hit this hamburger and hit export. Okay, and then if I want to share the waypoints, I tap on waypoints, and I'd go to Somewhere Ranch. Then I click on this hamburger, and I hit export. Okay, and that is all there is to that.